He almost missed out on the candidates. In an interview to us, he outlined how it was almost gone. And then somehow Gukesh Dommaraju managed to get it back and managed to qualify for the candidates.
Many congratulations and thank you very much for joining me. First thoughts, you started 23 with this goal in mind. You made the goal at the age of 17.
Yeah, I'm very happy about the qualification to the candidates. It looked very likely at some point, but then things started going wrong, and I'm really happy that there was a clutch performance in Chennai and to make it happen.
So when the first, if I divide 23 into two parts for you, the first 6 months and then 5 months and then finally the 1 month, what got to you? Was it pressure because you were playing brilliantly, and then was the expectations? How did it all change?
Yeah, I started the year off very well. I had some very nice performances. I finished top in some of the elite events, and also the rating was going very high. And then it was a lot of things came together. I think pressure was one of the main things, and also maybe I played a bit too much, and at some point I got a bit tired. So a lot of things came together, and the three tournaments that I had, Asian Games, Qatar, and Grand Swiss, were obviously not great. And after that, this 1 month with London Classic, the Chennai Grandmasters, and World Rapid Blitz was the last chance. So I was initially I was not really intending to play these events, but then I thought this is the last chance and I have to try. So the London Classic, already I felt my game was getting back to where it was, but then I had a couple of accidents, so I couldn't finish it off in London. But then Chennai was a dream tournament for me.
Mm-hmm. In September we celebrated you as having overtaken Anand after a long stay by him at the top of Indian chess in terms of the ratings. And clearly at the age of 17, that could be daunting. Viswanathan Anand is a legend and the benchmark. I mean, to overtake him, and now the candidates, you're not even 18. Just tell me a little bit about that. I mean, the scale of achievements are already humongous.
Yeah, the crossing Vishy sir in the World Cup was surely a huge achievement. And I wasn't particularly thinking too much about it because the main goal was always the candidates. From the start of the year, it was the candidates. So I was mainly focusing on that. But true, I kind of slipped up after that. Maybe because also I went to the very top very soon, and I was not able to adjust to the new conditions quickly. But it was a great learning experience for sure. And
the London tournament, the Chennai tournament, set it up for him. As Viswanathan Anand said, it is his attitude that makes a difference. If it was the candidates' qualification that set him on course, the win at the candidates all of a sudden made it known to the world that Gukesh is here to rule.
Has it sunk in? Has it started to?
Probably not fully. I'm obviously very relieved. I was watching the other game, and when I got to know I won the event, I was fully relieved. I'm so happy. But it'll probably take a bit more time to fully sunk in.
You played better with, more points with black and all of that. Just tell us a little bit.
Sure. Coming into the tournament, I was not really thinking about what are my chances, who are the favorites, all these things. I just wanted to play good chess, and I knew that if I keep playing well and I stay at a very good shape and keep my spirits up, I have every chance to win the event. And it helped that I had a good start. I won with black against Prague, and I was playing some good chess. I was getting into the rhythm, and yeah, I from the start I played some very good chess. And the round seven, the loss against Fallujah was the only negative result of this event, but that also provided me with energy to play the second half with more more motivation. So
Against all odds, he played the best he has ever and won the candidates. Not just that, he has had a stellar year. Beating Anand in the number that matters, the ratings, Gukesh became the first person in history after 37 years to overcome Viswanathan Anand's FIDE ratings. And not just that, he literally blitzed his way across the Olympiad. India won 2 golds, and both very, very important, men and women. Gukesh, the star of the show as far as the men were concerned. The story was not over. Seeing all of this, it was essential that he caps it up with the World Championship win. All of his colleagues who we spoke to, whether it is Arjun, whether it is Vaishali, whether it is Prague, whether it is Vidit, everyone said that he is the overwhelming favorite.
A word on Gukesh's World Championship, because Prague, for example, told me that Gukesh is overwhelming favorites, and that was a big statement coming from him. Thoughts on that will be another massive moment for Indian chess. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. Like Gukesh is in tremendous form in the last few months. I mean, he's just not winning games, but in a clear style. Like, I mean, it's too good to watch as a chess fan. Like, yeah, Dingliran, of course, he is a world champion. He knows. I mean, he knows what to do. He's clearly not in his best shape, but there are few months more, and I think he'll try to get back to shape. I hope to see a very fighting good match. Of course, I'll be rooting for Gukesh.
Of course. Tell me something. I mean, you just mentioned the younger generation. And I spoke to Gukesh, I spoke to his dad, I spoke to Prague, Vidit, Arjun. All of them tell me that Prague, Vidit, Arjun, for example, that Gukesh is an overwhelming favorite going into that World Championship final. Can you kind of set it up for me?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually very simple. I mean, Ding has to be the greatest actor of all time. Otherwise, it's impossible to look at this match and not see Gukesh as a huge favorite, simply because Ding's form over the last year and a half has not been good. He's played at a subpar level, well below, I'd say, top 10 in the world. And Gukesh has been playing well. And of course, he's younger, so he's still improving. And as I said, unless Ding somehow can change something on a psychological level, or he was basically pretending and keeping his best chess strategies in his pocket until the match, there's just no way that I see Ding being competitive. I think Gukesh is a huge favorite. If Ding is able to draw the first couple of games, say they get to game 4, game 5, and the match is tied, I think Ding's chances go up tremendously. But I really, based on what I've seen in his last events, especially the Chess Olympiad, where he lost a couple of games. I think he lost a game to Kwanglam where he was better, then it was equal, then he was a little bit worse. These are the sorts of games and type of positions that in a world championship match you're going to have to defend. You're going to have to avoid losing, and he wasn't able to do that. So unless something magically changes, it's just I don't see anything based on the last couple of years that makes me think that that Gukesh is not. I mean, probably an 80. I would say he's 80% favorite, 80% plus.
You mentioned about Gukesh and the World Championship. Arjun also spoke to Boria Majumdar a few minutes back about him being one of the favorites. So how do you set it up?
I mean, it's really obvious that Gukesh is the favorite right now. There are a couple of factors. One is the form, both players' form. Gukesh just had one of the tournament of his life in Olympiad. He gained like 30 rating points, which is massive in one tournament. He jumped like a lot of world rankings. And Ding, unfortunately, for last 1.5 years has been struggling with his play. He just doesn't seem to be
like how he was. Something is missing. I've heard that he is getting better with his like state of mind. But just judging by the current form and shape and motivation levels, I see Gukesh. It's just an obvious pick.
Your thoughts on the World Championship final against Gukesh? Prag tells me he is overwhelming favorites. Do you agree with that assessment? Your thoughts on that final? If I ask you to wear my hat as a journalist and build it up for me.
Yeah, I think like most chess players agree at this point that Gukesh is an overwhelming favorite because he's simply been in stellar form, and more importantly, Ding has been in not so good shape, let's say, since a while, and it doesn't look like he's recovering very well. So yeah, I think the strength difference is just too much. So I too do think that Gukesh is an overwhelming favorite. I think he's showing like great consistency, like a proper top player. Like for instance, Fabiano, someone like him. It's very rare that he would have a bad tournament, and even like when he's not in great shape, he still has a pretty decent tournament. And well, lately it's been similar for me as well, but I haven't got the opportunity to play the absolute elite opponents. When I play, we'll see then how I'll do. But Gukesh has been playing against the absolute elite opposition, and he's showing good consistency. And there are of course like many top players who possess the skill, but Ding hasn't been one of them in the last 1.5 years. So that's the main reason that Gukesh is a huge.
I think by now Gukesh is a massive favorite, and I mean, as a chess fan, I really hope the games will be quite interesting, and match will also be exciting. Goes till the end, but I think what we are seeing right now is I think Gukesh is a massive favorite for this match, and I think.
Why do you say so? Gukesh is a massive favorite is a big statement.
Yeah, I think many top players will agree with me, but right now the form we see, Gukesh is in very good form. I'm not just talking about the Olympiad, but in general he's working hard. He's playing his best in every tournament. Obviously, Olympiad assured that he's actually in a very good form. But apart from that, he's also improving every tournament. So, and on the other hand, if you see Ding hasn't been in his best form since the last World Championship match. So yeah, and also like Gukesh's rating has gone to like 2790, and Ding's rating is also a bit declining. So that's the reason. That's not like particular reason.
Unfortunately, however, it wasn't easy. Ding Liren, as Viswanathan Anand said, got his mojo back and pushed Gukesh to the brink. The champion started with a win, and the challenger was pushed back. Gukesh, like he does, came back, then took the lead in game 11 to only see Ding play the best he ever has in game 12. Finally, it went down to the wire. Incredible scenes when Gukesh refused to give up and eventually won with black. Ding blundered, and it was all Gukesh. All of the scenes that Atreya Mukhopadhyay got to us from Singapore will forever be etched in our memories as Indian sports fans. With the World Cup win and the 29 medals in the Paralympics, not to forget Manu Bhaker, Gukesh Dommaraju is the toast of India, one of the greatest achievements in the history of Indian chess. No better than Viswanathan Anand to put it in perspective. It has been a journey that we will always remember, and a journey that we are continuing to celebrate. Gukesh Dommaraju, from qualifying for the candidates to winning the World Championship, is living a dream. And remember, he's just 18. Rishi, this is incredible. After you, we have a second world champion. You paved the way. But today, I was watching you also, and all of us thought it was a draw. Your first reaction, please.
Thinking, it's good he's putting pressure, but I still don't see any way for him to break through. And the advantage was very small. And suddenly, Ding blunders. And it occurred to me that it was Gukesh. Sometimes you have to sit there and keep trying, even when there's no way forward. So today he was rewarded not only for his chess, but also his attitude.
And when it, can you please put it in context how important this is for the sport in India? Because it sort of, Viswanathan Anand was that enigma. You are my generation. We grew up on you and my understanding of the sport, and we always felt we had one Anand who was our response to Kasparov and some of the others. But now this entire generation, Gukesh and Arjun and Prag and all of them modeled after you. Can you tell us how important this is from the perspective of the sport?
It's fantastic. We have a generation of players. Even Gukesh, by becoming the youngest world champion in history, he has the biggest part of his career ahead of him. So this is a generation that's going to leave an impact for many years to come, and will keep us India engaged with the sport for many years to come. And I'm very, very proud that I played a role in this, not only by getting chess into the public realm, but also through my recent thing with Vaka and the academy. The fact that Gukesh, Prag are all in this academy makes me very proud.
Absolutely, and he wears that on his blazer, and all of us know, at least I do, what role you have played. But a lot of chess players who I spoke to, Vishy said to me, he was overwhelming favorite. That did not happen. Were you a little surprised with the way Ding played to just understand this entire match?
Obviously, there was a realistic chance that Ding would continue not to find his form. But equally likely for me was that Ding would suddenly rise to the occasion, and that is exactly what happened. But what was surprising was that often one of them would lose a dramatic game, and then that would motivate them to come back. This happened a couple of times. The match was very, very exciting. In a way, a pity to end like this, but it shows. But again, Gukesh was rewarded for his attitude.
Final question. Candidates from nowhere, 2 Olympiad goals, men and women gold medals, now the World Championship. Is this the best time for Indian chess about to come now?
It's going to be hard to top this year, but I'm happy if they prove me wrong.
Fabulous. Once again, for you, what you've done for the sport, continue to inspire. You're a hero of all of ours. But today, young Gukesh, 18-year-old, has made India proud. Viswanathan Anand, thank you very much for speaking to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have with us Dr. Rajnikant, Gukesh's father. Welcome to Revsportz, sir. Congratulations once again. Sir, Gukesh spoke a lot about the sacrifices that the parents make. And you have. Can you tell us a little bit about this journey that Gukesh has had?
Okay, sacrifice is a big word. That's why sacrifice. It's the duty of the parents to support the kids if they are talented in something. What he meant was when he started the chess career, it was easier because in the beginning stage I could work my profession, and in the weekends I used to take him for the weekend tournaments or something. But once he was gaining rating and strength, and we had to travel abroad a lot, so one of us, me or my wife, had to take a conscious decision. Someone has to accompany him for tournaments, and someone has to continue practice. So I took a decision of traveling with him, and my wife took the decision of supporting the family economically. That's what he is telling. This is natural. Any parent will do it from that age. So it's not a big deal for us.
And I saw in yesterday's interviews that he spoke about financial shortcomings and all that. How did you deal with that? Because playing chess, traveling, coaching, these things can be expensive.
Yeah, okay. Well, after a certain point of time, the coaching and the travel, all these things. When you travel extensively for Europe to gain norms and all, it's a bit costly affair. Okay, both of us were doctors, but when we were both practicing, we had a decent income and something. But once we have to travel abroad, like every month we used to travel at least one country or something like that. So at least half of that month I am not working, and in addition to that, we were traveling, both my expenses and Gukesh expenses. So for almost like some 2017 to 2019, we were struggling, because we were exhausting all our savings and resources before. But we were doing it for a purpose, because he was close to becoming a GM or something. So we just want to give him more exposure and travel a lot of European tournaments. That period was a little tough. Otherwise, after pandemic, we were not traveling, and I was working full time and my wife was working. So we got our financial things sorted out. But by 2021, he started playing in top level tournaments. Most of his expenses are covered by his prize money. So not a big deal. Okay, for 2 years we struggled, yes, but after that it's been smooth. And once the sponsors have pitched in, now we don't have much of a financial struggle.
My last question, how gratifying is this to see this? I mean, all those things, the struggles that you went through, and after that, how satisfying or gratifying is it to see this?
The initial dream was this, the idea of taking him to chess was like, I remember very well, he was the beginner, and I took him to this match between Magnus and Vishy that happened in our hometown. Just to motivate him that this is the top level. So he got so influenced seeing people cheering Vishy and the atmosphere they were playing, all those things. So he got really interested with the way the match was building up at that time. There was so much of hype around that match in our hometown, all those things. It all helped, and now I just took him to motivate him in something, and it happened like that. In 10 years, he's in the same match situation that he was playing. So as a parent, it's a really problem.
Thank you so much, sir, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.